How easy or difficult is it to earn a living through art?
It is difficult. Funding is a big problem. Many artists do something else on the side to survive, which is not their art.
Artists sort of tend to disappear into their own world.
So many times I wash my brush in my, the water and the coffee or the tea, and I wash. My sister says, "What are you doing?"
Then how do you raise a child if you have that kind of personality?
Today, my son is 26 years old, and his friends telling them these are the paints, now paint one wall in the house.
They must have loved
They
that.
loved it. So basically helping them to be free.
Fine arts for middle class families was quite a no-no.
Very difficult.
Are there a lot of women doing outdoor installations?
No, there isn't. To create your work, all the steps, how am I going to cut the wood, how am I going to fix it, how am I going to carry the metal or whatever it is. Me as a woman is doing that. Whether your work will get sold or not, you don't know.
Hello and welcome to Beyond Pink. Today, we're going to look at the world of art through the eyes of the well-known Indian painter and sculptor Shilpa Joglekar. A graduate of the JJ School of Art, Shilpa specializes in large installations. Apart from sculptures and painting, we're specifically going to talk about the mind of an artist, art as entrepreneurship, the challenges for female artists, and parenting styles. Do you think in India, art and artists, what is their role in a society which we are essentially a very poor country, even now?
Yeah.
And, a lot of people think art is a very elite form of expression. So what role does art and do artists play in a country like ours?
So there are two questions in this. One is how the society looks at the artist,
Right.
and one is what does the art do to the society.
Sure.
Art plays a very, very significant role in the society because every human being is an artist
Mm-hmm.
in some way or the other.
Okay.
The only thing is we are so clobbered by rules
Yes.
that we kill that artist within ourselves. And what is it to be that artist is to be yourself.
Yes. That's true.
Be what you want.
Yeah.
And that's why art is important. Because art introduces you to the finer details of life. So after roti, kapda and makan,
Yeah.
what?
Mm.
How many clothes can you buy? How many houses can you buy? You do want to listen to music. You do want to eat gourmet food, or you do want to go and watch a nice play, because those are the things that are going to challenge your intellect.
Yes. Yes.
And that creates finesse in your surrounding. Because otherwise life will become very mundane.
Mm.
Then how do you challenge your intelligence
Mm.
because you see this is a table, this is a chair, but then what about your mind? There are so many things inside. What about fantasy? What about dreaming?
Yeah.
What happens to all of that?
Right. Right.
And that is why art is very important to the society.
Mm.
And talking about how the society looks at artists, I feel that there are one section of the people who say, "Arey to काय काहीतरी art करतोय.
Yeah. Correct.
त्याला वेड लागलंय, तो कॉलेज सोडून घरी बसलाय." Like that's the way they look at it.
Yeah.
But most often, people are very proud that, my child draws well.
Yes.
My child, they want to see what my child did. So even from from kindergarten, people are proud if their child is doing something else.
Yeah.
So why do you think that they would be so excited about it? It's simply because people think this is not my cup of tea, but that person is doing it, so I will appreciate it.
Yeah.
There's so many things, people are blocking their minds with stage fright, inability to speak what is in their mind, and forget expressing in form of singing or painting. but the basic things. So that's why, actors are looked up to, or artists are looked up to, because they're following their passion, following their heart. And the guy sitting, in a closed office is thinking that I want to be that.
Expressing something that cannot be expressed by and large.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you are so grateful for that expression that,
yes.
okay, somebody is speaking up for me.
Yes,
Somebody is speaking up for the human.
Yeah.
True. What is your overall sense of the Indian art market? Like, what are the challenges over here for artists?
There are challenges galore.
Okay.
Because, many artists do something else on the side to survive, which is not their art. They might run a cafe and then they do their art and they do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
So today that boundary has become blur. It's not necessary that for you to survive, you shouldn't be doing anything else, and you should only keep on doing your art till you're hungry and you die.
Okay. Yeah. Which is good, right?
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. So a lot of artists, they teach or they do so many other things. It's not easy for an artist who doesn't have a wherewithal of even talking confidently to go with his work to a gallery, to find a gallery, then get a gallery backing, then be able to exhibit their work. Or they have to wait, because we have such few galleries, public galleries,
right.
that you book in Jahangir, your turn comes after 4 years.
Oh my.
So till that time, your mindset has changed, you're doing something else.
Correct. Yeah.
And then again, you have to need money to put in to create your work, survive for those 4 years. After that 4 years, whether your work will get sold or not, you don't know.
You don't know.
Or then you find a gallery who's going to take 50% from you, and you're going to, again, those are different challenges.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to learn the rules of the game if you're playing it, and then you have to be good at it.
Yes.
So it's the same thing, I guess, no matter in which field you are,
What should an art student learn and what should an art teacher teach?
Very nice question, because I don't think you can teach art. You can teach the part of the skill, that what we call the studio practice, where the model is sitting and then, you're teaching them about proportions and how much distance between the eyes and this and that and whatnot. But now you can learn that through books, through internet, through everything. So then what is the role of that art facilitator? When the students were making their work, we would just, you cannot control the river, but you can control the bank a bit to see where it's meandering. So we would give them suggestions, and maybe, instead of doing this, you could have tried that. Or instead of that, you could have tried that. Presenting your work and presenting yourself to the world as an artist was something that I was interested in talking to them about.
Okay. Right.
For example, if somebody came on the day of their critique, when they were supposed to submit their work, they would put their work with, on the painting, they would fix staple pins.
Oh my.
And they would tear a concept note on the book and tear that page and bring it. I would tear it and throw it away. I said, unless you respect, no matter you're in the classroom, but we have computers, we have printers, make a nice printout. Display your work nicely and present it to us.
Yes.
Only then we will take it seriously, and then somebody else will take you seriously.
Sure.
Students come with so much confusion, and nowadays they have lost their ability to think, because the minute you give them an assignment, or we would give them a book and say, read this book and make a work about it, they run to the internet, start looking for what other artists have done. So the intuition is not challenged. So you're just appropriating what you're seeing.
Correct.
And anyways, we are flooded with visual information. So instead of subtracting that and getting the residue, you're flooding it more and more and more, and killing your intuition.
Right. And you also encourage them to pursue other fields of inquiry?
Yes. So a lot of our students are today doing performance art.
Okay.
They are doing multimedia work. So this is what we encouraged them, because the traditional art colleges in India haven't had a chance to upgrade their syllabus for centuries.
Oh, okay.
And I guess that contemporary art practices were needed to be introduced, for the students to even understand what we are doing or what the world is doing. So yeah, we did allow them to do, or helped them. Allow is a wrong word, but hoped that they will.
Tell me, which is your favorite form of expression?
It's very difficult, but I love to work with clay.
Uh-huh.
I do ceramic. I love to do that, but it's very difficult to say what is favorite, because there are those zones when you get into, and sometimes you just want to sit in watercolor. I love to do watercolor painting. So then there are zones where I just want to sit and do watercolor. And installation is something, I do a lot of outdoor installations for public spaces. So that's a different high when you're working in the nature or you're interacting with people around in a public space. So so each thing has its own character. I mean, gives you a different high. So it's very difficult to say what I would love actually. Working is the joy.
Coming to mood, how does that mood come?
Personally, I love to work with my hands.
Okay.
So after 3-4 days, if I have not done something, that little frustration starts setting into my brain.
Yeah.
If that thing stretches and stretches and stretches, then I start going crazy and I have to start working.
Okay.
So it's not about the mood, it's about the urge. To push whatever is being stored to be brought out. But very often I do a lot of work on my computer, because for my installations I do 3D drawings, which I can see from, I can move it and see it, walk through it, because that's actually helping me to understand the construction.
Right.
So I've made a lot of work in water that you must have seen the photographs. So what you see above the surface is only the visual, but my actual work is underneath the water.
Okay.
And a lot of planning needs to be done for structure stability, to keep it safe from winds and typhoons and all these things. So all that technical drawings, I'm sitting and working on my laptop. And that actually also is a high, because it's a very intense planning of how I'm going to actually do it. And it's not like you're employing some people or some labor, you're doing it yourself. So all the steps, how am I going to cut the wood, how am I going to fix it, how am I going to carry the metal or whatever it is, all those things need to come into place. So I like to be very organized before starting a project. So a lot of homework is done before embarking on the process in itself, because working outside India, there are a lot of challenges. The weather conditions, language, transportation. So, and outdoor, many a times there's no electric supply. So you're going to work with power tools. Then how long can I work till my battery runs down from my drilling machine or my chainsaw? So all those things you have to calculate, and then give them a timeline. Then how many days I'll require to finish the work.
Yeah. Are there a lot of women doing outdoor installations?
I mean, of course, internationally there are lots. I have very close friends who are very, very good environmental artists. But in India, I haven't come across many. There are few of them, but maybe 3 or 4 that I know of. But I don't think they're actively working right now. One of them is married and one of them is taken a break.
Okay. And why do you think is that?
First of all, what people are unable to understand yet here is the nature of the work is ephemeral. So it lives for a short time. And it's very difficult for artists to kind of believe that I'm going to put in all this hard work and my work is going to be removed in 6 months.
So then what drives that enterprise?
For me, I feel that our whole entire life, our entire being is ephemeral. Everything that we do is so short-lived. And what we take with us is only experiences.
Right.
You go to watch a play or you go to listen to a music concert, and all you have with you is the experience.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you might take hundreds of photographs, but there's only one good photograph that you like, which is the representation of that work you made.
True.
But more than that, as a human being, it you evolve with every project that you do, because you land up into a new country, new town. Sometimes they give me a new house, or I'm accommodated with some family or bunch of other artists in a hostel. So everything from the cuisine to the people that you meet, and then you're working in the nature. And I think nature is the best teacher. So you grow so much. And when you come back, you're literally not that same person. So you're internally migrated, moved in another direction. And that for me is more high than the putting my work and mummifying it somewhere.
One looks at outdoor installations. There are several in Mumbai, and you just swing past them. You're not really thinking about.
Those, well, the installations that you see in the city are mostly they are not ephemeral, because they're there. The materials that are used are all metal and stone.
Okay.
So they're going to last there.
Yeah.
But my work is basically, I work in the nature with organic material.
Which just kind of
Just
goes
with
back to the earth.
Yes. So that's the demand of, especially in countries like Japan and Taiwan. Even the nails, when I work with bamboo, I make bamboo nails. I'm not allowed to
So
use.
everything disintegrates.
Yeah. So those are things very different from casting a metal sculpture or a fiberglass sculpture and putting it
a lot
here.
of this is like real manual hard
Oh yes.
work.
Oh yes.
Then I want to know, why do you get inspired to do it?
From childhood, I was like a person who was running around outdoor. In Kokand near Ratnagiri, we have a family house. And I would be lost in the village somewhere working with the local potters. I would climb trees and I would jump in the well and jump in the river and all of that. So the city doesn't suit me. I just get claustrophobic with concrete. And so the quest to kind of go into the nature and make adventure a part of your work is really very exciting for me. Secondly, if you see my work, it looks very fragile. But to construct it, it has to be very strong. So I feel as a
Stable,
woman,
yes.
I wanted to make things that were really big. Big than any of my peers imagine or are doing. Always trying to do something different, breaking the rules, going against the flow. But yet, me as a woman is doing
You're
that.
able to execute
So it's
them,
like
yeah.
your strength and your fragility, it's all kind of coming together.
That
and
is
that
beautiful.
dynamic is the excitement for
That
me.
is beautiful. That is beautiful, to challenge this
Yeah.
notion that women can't
Yeah.
lift weights or hack trees or things like that. I mean, that's.
And then in the end, it's just not a carpentry job. You didn't make a table or a chair, but you put a large artwork. And people are looking at it, and that's the high. That's the excitement. I want to just keep making more and more of it.
Wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. And do you have inspirations from whom who you look up to in this field or any field?
Yes. To begin with, the biggest inspiration of my life is my mother.
Okay.
Who has been an extraordinarily dynamic woman. I lost my father when I was born, but she's extremely talented, extremely creative, and a strong human being. So she was, of course, the greatest inspiration that I grew up with.
Did she teach you that you can do anything you like?
Yes. She said, you do what you like, but be 100% responsible for it.
That makes sense.
Don't blame others. Don't try to depend on others. It's your journey. You take the responsibility and go ahead. So yeah, that allowed me to make those kind of decisions and even go to the art college. For example, all my friends were doing medicine and accounting and whatnot. But she said, it's your problem. You'll have to earn your money, support yourself, do your art.
Yeah, because a
So,
lot of parents from that generation were not very, they didn't want to encourage their kids. And especially you did fine arts. You didn't
yes,
even do commercial art,
yes,
right?
yes.
And fine arts for middle class families was quite a no no.
Very difficult. So one
Yeah.
had to do odd jobs in Times of India and work in some animation studio, painting cells to support the art education.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, there have been. I mean, there's a long list. There are so
Mhm.
many artists. I lived with Razaji, who was a well-known painter
Of
in
course.
India, and I
Mm.
was fortunate. I had a short stint in Paris. I was studying there, and they asked me to come and stay at their home.
That's beautiful.
And his
Mm.
wife Janine, who was then making installations with wooden furniture, she offered me her studio, and so I was surrounded by her art, and it was a great time of my life. I learned a lot from him.
Mm.
Then there was Nirmala Patwardhan, whose name I cannot forget taking because she was again a friend, guide, and philosopher, a well-known potter in India, the mother of Indian ceramics, actually.
Right.
And so we became friends. We would hang out all the time. And she was 73 when I met her. I was really young. And we would go on the scooter and ride in the rain. And so she was that kind of person. And I
Yeah.
learned a lot from her as well.
So you have worked in India
Yes.
and you have worked globally.
Yes.
What is the difference between the environment here and the environment there?
So as far as the gallery environment is concerned, it's
Uh-huh.
totally the same.
Okay.
Whether you're in Mumbai or in New York or wherever,
Uh-huh.
the white cube is more or less the same everywhere.
Okay.
But while you work in nature, the community of artists who are working out of the white cube,
Mm.
it's just like a big family.
Mhm.
And a very big difference is that there's no competition there. Everybody is just like chilling and they're very happy. I mean, if we are a big group of artists, like 20 artists are working for a festival and we have our own site and each one has got a huge task.
Mm.
Sometimes if I finish my work earlier and some other artist that's their first work, bunch of us will go and help out to help that artist to complete the work because finally we want the festival to be successful.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if that happens in studio practice.
Mhm.
There's a lot of competition because the market is very tight. But here, that politics gets cut off because we are paid before the project. So there's no anxiety whether I'm going to starve as an artist because I don't know when I'll get paid, when my work will get sold.
Mm.
So it's already a commission work.
Mm.
And so, the mindset of approaching the art is completely different.
Right.
So when the challenge is, to give you an example, one day I had to dig 17 holes for putting really deep holes to fix bamboos. So a friend of mine said, okay, Shilpa, I am coming and digging the holes for you. But in exchange of that, you'll have to carry 3 ladders and bring it to my site and do this and that and the other. And so this way you do some exchange and help each other out because otherwise,
It's sort of more community feel.
I mean, can you imagine that you become such good friends
Yeah.
and you learn so much about each other's skills and abilities that it's a nice exchange because in the studio practice, though one would love to, we do it in a smaller group, like, going to artist friends and seeing their artwork progressing. But it doesn't happen so easily. People don't want to show their process of working and they're uncomfortable. But because you're putting your work in the public space, it's like a performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's no shyness of the process.
Is there a lot of such what you call ephemeral or environmental art in India as well?
No, there isn't.
And why do you think that is?
I think the funding is a big problem
I see.
because in India we don't have designated funding towards art in any ways unless you find a patron who kind of invites you and says that, okay, this is my garden and I'm putting a big festival together. Why don't you come and make an installation for me? But otherwise, I guess the funding is a problem. I mean, if you invite a classical music singer, you pay her or him a lot of money to come for a 3-hour performance.
Correct.
But they'll not pay a visual artist to make an installation which will stand there for 6 months.
So far, that consciousness has not penetrated.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
who? The Indian art world or the government or who? Or
I mean, everybody
civic
by
society?
and large, it's the patrons who even buy art or support art in any manner.
Mm-hmm.
And also the artists are not ready for that still.
How easy or difficult is it to earn a living through art?
It is difficult. Not today.
How many of your friends, let me put it this way, how many of your friends from your class are also earning a living through art?
Ours was a batch of exception.
Okay.
Normally, in a batch of, let's say, 30, 40 students, to make it. As 8 have made it,
Okay.
which is a very unusual thing in that 10-year span. And everybody is doing very well as artists, those 8.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, we were 100 and then we were 30 by the last year, and 8 are working as practicing artists.
So 8% is considered a very good number.
Yes.
It would be
normally it's 2 or
2%.
3. Yeah.
2 or 3%.
There are artists who are doing art in various forms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, many of them go to teaching in schools or educational institutes. And there are today a lot of ways open to earn through art.
Through your talent.
Back then, there was just that you go and show your work in the gallery. There was just that one way.
Yeah, yeah.
But now there are a lot of opportunities for artists to kind of do something else and make a living.
So, you are a single mom?
Yes.
And you were raised also by a single mom because you lost your dad?
Yes.
So, artists sort of tend to disappear into their own world. Then how do you raise a child if you have that kind of personality? I mean, what is the impact on the child if, what do you feel?
So today my son is 26 years old and his friends, they come home and they say, Shilpa aunty, the most fun days of our childhood we have spent with you.
Oh,
and what were
so
those?
Sweet.
What were those that I would take out my car on a weekend and take them to some waterfall and take them trekking. And their parents were afraid of taking them with other kids.
Okay.
That दूसरों के बच्चों को ऐसे कैसे लेके जा सकते हैं. But I was very confident of taking them swimming in a river or taking them cycling from Matunga to Bandra Fort through Dharavi.
Oh, wow.
You know, doing all these adventures or just telling them these are the paints, now paint one wall in the house.
They must have loved
They
that.
loved it. I gave them rollers and they all did such a beautiful job out of it.
Yeah.
So basically helping them to be free.
Break out, yes.
To experience freedom.
Right.
And not telling, don't do this, don't do this, don't do.
You want to do this? Natural parent instinct.
Yeah, and I was just, you want to do this? Okay, let's do this. You want to do that? Let's do that.
You must have been their favorite auntie.
Yeah.
But I'm sure your influence must loom large in his life in terms of...
Yes, I think so.
In terms of art appreciation.
Yes. Yeah. Art appreciation, even in ways of seeing the world, understanding people or everything.
What have been your high points? What have been your low points?
Low points have been when I'm unable to work. Like I broke my hand last year.
Oh no.
And I was unable to move my hand, and that was... Or my very low point is if I can't travel, or for whatever reason, if somebody is not well, I need to look after that person or anything like that. Then I really want to, I just want to get out, and those can be the low point. But high point, every time I'm working, I think it's been high.
So when you are traveling, does your son come with you? Has
he came last year when I did a project in Auvergne in France. It was a ski destination, and Horizon Sancy is one of the very well-known land art projects. And they've never had invited any artists from India. This was the first time.
Okay.
And Gautam, my partner, he fell very sick there, and I needed hands to... So my son came from New York and spent 2 weeks with me and helped me to... I'd done the leg work. This was the first time he was experiencing working. So he said the process is more interesting than the,
Ultimate creation.
that's the art itself. So.
But that's beautiful to for you and your son to
Yeah,
actually come
yeah.
together
Yeah.
in something that's
Yes.
so
I mean,
big a part of your life.
Yes. And then in New York, I was doing another project in Connecticut. So he came there too, and then he was also enjoying doing all the carpentry, the drilling and cutting, and he liked that too. So
wonderful. But did he ever, as a child, when you were going off for your projects, did he ever, "Oh, Mama, don't go,
no,
don't
never,
leave me,"
never, no,
which is the usual child instinct?
no, never. In
Oh,
fact, I
really?
think he was very proud that, showing off to his friends that my mother is, doing. So he never stopped me. I think that was a boon, blessing.
And did you find common ground with his friends' mothers? What was life like
So,
in that?
frankly speaking, when the children are in kindergarten and all that, and the mothers come together and then they start going out and all that.
Yeah.
And at that point, I felt, oh my God, I'm a part of this community and I should be doing that.
Yeah.
Trust me, I was bored to death. There was zero contribution that I could do in that conversation. And I felt that I'm completely a mistake to this group.
Okay.
And I'm sure they felt the same. I mean, I don't know what it felt. So I ran away from there as earliest as I just got kicked out by myself and them from that group. So, yeah. But I do have very close friends whose children grew up with my son, and they do understand where one is coming from.
Yeah, because you, as an artist, you have made different choices.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's always hard to understand different choices, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Unless it's another artist out there, then you can have those conversations.
True.
So this has been absolutely wonderful. I mean, I've found so much beauty in your thoughts, so much, the togetherness with the land and thinking about the land, thinking about our ephemeral beings. All of it has made me think, actually. One doesn't think along those lines, but now that I'm listening, I listen to you, I actually started thinking about all those ideas, So thank you so much for this, Shilpa. It's been a pleasure listening to you.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you so much.
Hello and namaste. I hope you've been watching these conversations that I have brought to you with some very remarkable women in our country. The conversations, as you know, are about anything and everything that matters to a woman, and then, of course, by corollary, to society. If you are enjoying these conversations, do please like, share, subscribe, so that others in your circle can also enjoy them. Thank you. Keep watching.